race fans. We're just waiting for Yan San San to launch this lobby, and we're going to be on our way. Welcome back to another week of Sim Racing Nation Historic Trans Am series, of course, based on the historic Trans Am series from the late 60s, early 70s. This week we are at Road Atlanta. Again with me in the booth is Sedlum. Hi, Sedlum.
Strife.
Jeez. I was doing so good, and then I went and screwed it up.
It's okay.
Anyway, my apologies. I'm an idiot. If you haven't figured that out already, well. All right, so we again are at Road Atlanta this week. The length of this wonderful track, I love this track, is 2.54 miles, which is just over 4 kilometers long, has 12 turns. Any other information you'd like to give us about that track, or other than it was opened in 1970?
No, I didn't. I do not currently.
So we are with the action already, but for some reason, there we go. We've got audio. We are away going through the S's. I managed to talk right through the start yet again. We will nail this at some point, I swear. Yeah, so anyway, last week we were at Watkins Glen. There was a few wrecks here and there. I don't think I got the audio nailed yet again. I think the audio is way off again. We are currently on board with Diablo, who is out in front yet again. And he did win the race last week, did he not?
That is correct.
Excellent. As they go through or underneath the bridge, around the final corner to finish that first lap of this race and onto the second lap, sorry. Diablo commanding lead here, so I'm going to let's go back to 9th right now. I like to go back to around midfield because there's always lots of action midfield. No offense to the person out in front, but all the action tends to be midfield. And we are with DOR Juiced right now. Right behind Flight as they go through the S's once more. And that is the Nomad, or Nova. Nomad, listen to me. Nova. What year was that? The 66 or the 67?
66 or 65, yes.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've been in this, and I know I think they've changed up a few cars, have they not, since Forza 6?
Maybe a couple.
Yeah, I know they've gotten rid of that horrible vinyl roof on the 69 Camaro, so I'm happy about that.
I do miss the Z28.
Yeah, did they really take that out?
Yep.
Why?
Well, we have the 70 Z28, but we do not have the 69 Z28.
Yeah.
They gave us the 69 Boss 302, but then they took the 69 Z28.
Logic. No place for it here. Well, let's pop up a few places up to 5th with DAT Wagonator. Oh, why can't I talk properly tonight? Wagonator, they've always been fond of that. That's the 69 Firebird, I believe.
Correct.
Yeah, perfect. They've always been fond of that 69 Firebird, him and Trash Man. Always running that model over the past couple seasons of Trans Am. Really suits them, I guess. Right in front of him is Master Big Chief. that's a battle for third, fourth, and fifth. A big long line of cars there. Severius being passed. Didn't see who that was. Maybe I'm going to go back just a couple more just to find Severius there, because it looked like a good battle. Oh, sorry, he's up in 6, so we're going to go up to 6 with Severius. And he has some heavy damage on the front of his car, early contact, as he did get tagged going underneath the bridge.
Oh.
A nose a mother could only love on the front of that. Jeez, it's banged up pretty bad. He's got car flight all over his tail. Is there something you see that we should be switching to, or are we good where we're at?
Currently we're good. There is a very tight pack for the next 5 cars, but
Oh, there's a
I mean,
battle going up for third there. Let's go up to third with Master Big Chief, as they are side by side with A4 or AX4X Big Axle. Did I read that right? Getting old. Big Ben, sorry. I'm not used to all the information that's being displayed on the screen, and it's a little bit of sensory overload for me. That, and I have been drinking. So, unfortunately, again, no drink cam. My cam webcam cacked on me a couple years ago, and just too cheap to buy a new one. This is a really good battle here for fourth with Wagonator, Big Chief, and Big Ben, was it not?
that is correct.
So, was there any dirt or gossip in the pits after last week's race?
No, it was actually some pretty good conversation. Did mention that they got contact pushing them off a couple times throughout the race. Some very tight door-to-door racing back at Watkinsville last week.
We really encourage the tight racing. There's bound to be a little bit of bumping. As long as it's not malicious, everything's good. It's Big Chief looking up the inside or outside of Severius, but gives up that spot as they were going through the corner, and it just wouldn't work as they head down that big long back straight down towards, well, this is technically turn 9 right now, even though it's not really a turn. It's it's more of a slight crease in the road, but as they head down into turn 10A and B, which I've always loved this part of the track. It takes precise braking, precise turning. You nail that right, and you gain so much time. Get it wrong, you lose a lot, and you can. As Big Chief is out on the grass. Let's go back to 10th with Yan Sansan, who is currently battling with Optimizer. Optimizer, shout out to you, you drinking monster, you. I follow him on there's an app called Untapped, and we follow each other on that, and that guy is checking in like a check-in beast. Like, I don't know how his liver is, but he's got a ton of check-ins. He makes me look like a rookie, which makes me happy because I don't really have a problem. But again, really tight battle between these challengers here for 9th, 10th, and 11th. Yansan, all of them taking a little bit of liberty with the grass, but it's kind of okay. You don't really lose any time. I don't know. I'm trying to remember with Forza, is there a penalty system for going off the track? It's like hitting quicksand or something, isn't it? It slows
If
you
you
down.
get 3 or 4 wheels off into the grass, it does tend to slow you down. But in Forza Motorsports 7, they've changed most of the grass to just being slippery with reduced traction.
Okay.
The issue is when,
Oh,
oh,
sorry to interrupt, but Optimizer into the wall. It was racing. Ian Sansan obviously was involved in that. Definitely not malicious by any means. I call it a racing incident, as they were both probably just losing traction going through that corner. But because I've been racing with Yan San so long, and I'd like to call him out that he was a cheap, dirty move. He knows I'm joking. Now that that's over with, that battle, let's pop back. There's a battle going on for 13th currently, or that general area with the Hocus. Optimizer, unfortunately, is down into that spot now after that off. Trashman is right there with him, and Schleprock is not too far behind. Sorry. Anyway, continue with what you were saying about the with the grass and the offs. My apologies for interrupting.
most of the grass.
Oh!
Oh, someone's in
Again,
the tire wall.
Optimizer into the tire wall. Oh, again, it's one of those, and I believe he's disconnected as we've switched over to, or no, I think it was just a lag on my part, but still with Hocus. But yeah,
Looks like Trashman. Trashman is limping.
Oh, that is really unfortunate. As I was saying, coming out of that final corner, you can, if you don't nail it right, you can go wide, and there's a little bit of tire barrier that sticks out, and before you know it, you're caught up in it, and game over. So I've popped back up with Severius and Master Big Chief. That battle there, they are too wide. Juiced. Three wide going towards turn 6. Or no, sorry, turn 10. Jeez, I was way off with that one. Oh, they're side by side going through 10A and 10B. A little bit of touching there. Master Big Chief trying to push Severius through that gap, and this Forza loading screen keeps coming up, and I keep losing. It's for some reason bumped me to juiced. Not sure why, but hey. I'm guessing it's a lag issue. This juice is starting to pull away from that group now. Severius wide, coming out of turn 5. I think we need to find another battle. Actually, I'll go up to first right now. Medieval Knight's currently in first. I believe that possibly... who was out in front originally? Jeez, brain's turned off.
Diablo.
Yeah,
I'm guessing it's pitting.
Yeah, yes, thank you. I'm lucky to remember my own name, let alone everybody else's name on it. That's racing. So, Medieval Knight, and I don't know if you caught that or not, but coming out of turn 11? Turn 12, sorry. There was a bumper laying in the middle of the road, a rear chrome bumper.
It does appear 2 drivers have dropped.
Okay, I'm guessing Optimizer would be one of those, as that was heavy contact in that tire barrier. And you can actually see Medieval Knight here is missing his rear bumper, so I'm not sure if that's his rear bumper or Optimizer's from his contact. The field's starting to spread out a little bit, but back in 14th there seems to be a battle going on there, so we'll skip back to that. We've got Sedlum, Mr. Grip, and didn't catch who the other one was. The camera keeps flashing too quick.
Looks like Trash Man.
Yes. Yeah, it's funny. The pit stops are obviously going on because the timing board's not lining up with what we're seeing, and it seems to be jumping around. So yes, that is Trashman, Sedlum, and Mr. Grip battling for 14th. But it's showing Trashman in 20th. So is he a lap down, or is that result of a pit stop?
Could be a combination of both. He did end up limping around after that
Yes.
contact with the tire wall. He
Yes,
limped the
yes.
entire length of the track. So there's a possibility he could be a lap down.
Yeah, that would be my guess, is he is a lap down. That's unfortunate for Trashman. We will... These guys have seemed to spread themselves out. I'm just going to pop back to 17th briefly to see what Flight's up to.
One of them just went into a tire wall, I believe.
Oh, yes. We caught that out of the corner, on the corner of the camera there, coming, it was, what, turn 4, or 3 into 4.
It looked like Sedlum lost traction in the front and went into the grass and just couldn't stop the car from there.
That's unfortunate. So this is a battle between Flight and Chuckles as they go through turn 7, into turn 7. A little bit of bumping going on there. Flight just nudging Chuckles, trying to get by, and it is now a drag race down into turn 10. My beer for this week is North Brewing's Lawrencetown. It's very rapidly become one of my favorites, and I think I mentioned it last week that they have opened up shop basically around the corner from me. I mean, it's like a 5-minute drive, but out in suburbia, that's around the corner. So let's find a battle here. 7th, looks like they are close. We're with Yan San San and 4Cam T-Bird. And please, if you see anything of interest, jump in, let me know. And I may actually, at this point, I'm going to take this time to go through the current driver standings after race 1. It's not going to be any big surprise because it's obviously the finishing order of race 1, but we'll go through that right now. So Diablo in first, Moose second, Master Big Chick third, Yogurt fourth, Medieval Knight fifth, Juice, Trance, 4Cam T-Bird, Flight, Yan San San are your top 10, and I cannot keep up with that scrolling, so there are the rest of the top 30. There was a bunch of did not starts in there that I did not bother putting into that list, but I do see a few new faces or cars in this race, so obviously that will be expanding after this race. Alright, we need to find something. I see a lot of pitting going on. There's 3 cars currently in the pit right now. And I'm gonna go back to 12th to. We're gonna watch 4Cam T-Bird come out of the pits as he comes out right in front of Sedlum. And he is pulling away, so we won't stick around there for very long. Seems like it's just really stretched out. We got somebody else in the pit right now as well. Let's go back and see who that is. That is Juiced currently in the pit. Or, sorry, Yan San San currently in the pit. No, it's lying to me. Yeah, it's Juiced. The indicator kept popping up and changing on me as he is now. The rules around pits: are you taking full fuel and tires on in this series, or?
I do not believe that is an option regardless. Forza Motorsports 7 has not given us that opportunity, so it is full fuel and tires every time.
Okay. I remember at one point, was it Forza 2 or is it even Forza 1 where you could select damage that you could repair as well, and what tires you wanted to change, or am I thinking of something else?
I can confirm Forza Motorsport 1 was like that. As for Forza 2, I didn't do many pits, so I'm not sure. I don't remember.
It was probably just one, to be honest. Again, my memory's crap because I'm old. Looks like we have a little bit of battle going on up for 9th and 10th, so we're going to pop up to that. We are with Flight and Juiced. Both having just finished their pit stops. One lap apart as Juice makes a dive down into the turn. Good racing. Flight's got the inside coming out of the turn 10B, and Mr. Gimp goes in for his pit stop as they come around turn 12 and across the start-finish line to start lap 15. Doing 26 laps tonight, obviously, by the indicator up in the top corner there. That's a horrible camera shot. I've switched to the helicopter, and it's just so robotic.
I jumped back to 15 with Schleprock for a moment. We have two Firebirds fighting for position.
All right. I will
looks
go back
like
to that.
Looks like Emi's trying to make a move to the S's.
So now, is that the 73 Firebird as per Forza 6, or is that a different version of the Firebird?
That is correct. Schleprock is driving the 73, and EME is driving the 69.
I think I'll get rid of this map for right now.
Looks like that 69 it might have a little bit more power. Successfully made the move.
Now I notice he's not running the Forza rear wing there. Do you see that as well? Is that not required in the regulations?
Front and rear Forza aero is required. He does have a little bit of damage in the back. There's a possibility that wing could have come off, but usually it takes more pressure than that. He'd be missing a bit more than just the wing if he got hit. Maybe we'll look into that later on, but currently,
We'll have to mention that to the race stewards. Not to be narcs and all, but we want, you know, we want fair racing, and obviously, I think he has a top end advantage on Schlepprock coming through there, and that could be down to the lack of rear aero.
it looks like Sierra is catching up, but I want to check to see if there's another battle up right after the 10 series.
Looks like there's a battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th right now. Again, Flight in the middle of that. I hate going back to Flight all the time, but he seems to be right in the middle of a battle there with Juiced and Yogurt. Not super tight, so if you feel you want to go back to another battle, by all means. Like 8.
We do have 8th
Sorry.
and 9th, yes.
Yeah,
Master
yeah.
Big Chief and Severius.
And we get to see a little more of that Boss 302. I know I mentioned this last week as well, but I love the fact that they were much more stricter on the historic inspired liveries. That made me happy.
It is definitely a nice change as well from the other series where, you know, certain logos are present, but aside from that, it's kind of, you know, free reign.
Yeah.
Going back to this and seeing those historic paint jobs, whether they're fantasy related and they're era specific or they're actually recreations with some touches to it from the artist, they're very.
Oh, absolutely. And that's kind of what the series was all about, was, you know, grassroots. I mean, I know the manufacturers got into it big time, and there was all these, you know, breaking the rules and trying to circumvent rules and stuff like that, you know, with the acid dipping and stuff like that. But if you look at, you know, the true grassroots runners out there, it was this style of paint job. It was, you know, somebody's local dealership, for example, you know, plastered on the side, and just straight up Arial Helvetica style block text. And it was fantastic because, you know, they didn't have a lot of money, and they were giving her hell anyway.
They take cars right off the showroom, throw a roll cage in it, rip out as much as they could with bolts and pins and, you know, a pocket knife or something and bring it to the track. Borrow a pair of slicks from the guy next door, and they raced for the day.
Absolutely. I'm going to go back up to first here, just give Diablo a little bit of screen time, as, you know, he does deserve it. Once again, dominating the whole. I mean, he's in a completely different league right now over everybody else. I'm waiting for it to scroll back around, but the distance between telemetry. No, I don't want telemetry. Sorry. Ticker, there we go. Time behind. He has the fastest lap as well, and Medieval Knight in second is almost 15 seconds behind him. So they're just a dominant performance by Diablo. But that being said, let's find somebody else to look at. Any battles you see on track right now? I don't have my map up.
I am going back to 8th. Currently, there's a big group of cars. They're kind of spread out a little bit, but there's like 7 or 8 cars just on the back straightaway right now.
We got Team Reedy, Master Big Chief, and Severius out in front of that group in 7th. DOT Yogurt a little far off in the distance there. I don't see, unless he does something wrong, I don't see this group catching them at this, anytime soon. Although
Oh,
I think that may just have happened though, as
I am jumping back to 14th place. It looks like Sierra did catch up.
Schleprock, or 15th,
Uh,
15th and
yeah,
14th. Sorry,
Sierra and
yes.
Schulbrock. Oh, Sierra is going to be passing right after the start finish line. Yeah, Sierra finished the move. Got to give that Mustang some credit. Doesn't have a lot of power, but
And he picks it season after season. Hats off to him for sticking with it. MA up at 13th, just his next victim, if you will. Oh, his Schleprock goes wide through turn 5. And that's another spot where you can really be caught out on this track, is if you catch an edge too hard, especially in iRacing. I don't know about in Forza anymore, but in iRacing, if you hit that rumble strip coming out of turn 5 the wrong way and get on the power too hard, you are in the wall on the opposite side. There's no stopping it. You're just along for the ride at that point. On lap 21 of 26. Bring the track map up again.
so we got 9 cars going into the S's. But when I go over there to check it out, they're spread out. It looks more condensed via the map than it actually is. But still, that's 9 cars through the S's.
Hats off to them for keeping it so tight and close this late into the race. 18th, the last car running, is about to get, or sorry, 19th is the last car running. With Sedlum, he's got Diablo coming up on him rather quickly. Diablo, one of the only, if not the only, Javelin currently on track.
I believe so, yes.
And Chuckles in Cuda, which is not very popular this season either. Challenger definitely seems to be popular. Cuda not so much. And the Mustang doesn't have a huge showing. We don't have any of the 69 Camaros in here either, do we not? I know it was always a handful in Forza 6 or 5 and 6. Nobody chose to pick it, just as you really had to drive it hard and well in order to get anything out of it. Diablo ever closer to Sedlum. Will Sedlum let him by? I know he's battling for position here, but that he is a lapped car at this point, or about to be lapped car. As he goes off track, easily letting Diablo by. Go up to Chuckles and watch him get past. Let me know if you see anything further up that we'd like to go to as well. Now I know in iRacing at this point, Diablo would be on the flashing the high beams. Anytime you got a car remotely close to you, I do multi-class racing in iRacing, and I'm always in the slow class, and you're forever getting passed by other cars. It's always the high beams being flashed at you all the time. As Diablo gets past Chuckles without any issue, going into turn 10A. So we will.
I did not want to interrupt you there, but 7th, 8th, and 9th have been trading positions here. We just had Master Big Chief make a move on Severius and pull it off right after the Estes.
We are with Master Big Chief, currently in 7th.
Severius closing that gap in the braking zone.
Master Big Chief currently sitting in 3rd in the points as well, so he needs every spot he can get in order to try and keep up with Diablo. Moose, I have not seen Moose this race, so I assume he either didn't make this the A main or just did not show up for the race at all tonight. So again, Master Big Chief needs these points big time in order to even keep close to Diablo. Wildman CB, we haven't seen him this evening, but he is down in 16th. And I feel bad for not focusing on him at all, but he's been kind of running by himself. Severius trying to keep up with Master Big Chief here. DUR Yogurt currently ahead of Master Big Chief and 1 point behind currently in the standings. So if the race were to finish like it is right now, we would have a tie for 2nd, I believe.
Ooh, Sarvarius making the inside move.
And he gets it done. Nice move.
All right, they are on their last. Nope, still 1.5 laps to go.
So Master Big Chief back down to 8th. Why don't we do a quick run through here? Diablo currently in 1st, Medieval Knight 2nd, Big Ben 3rd, Juiced 4th, Flight 5th, Yogurt 6th, Severius 7th, Master Big Chief 8th, Team Rady 9th, Nyansen San 10th. We'll just do the top 10 because we are on the, almost on the penultimate lap, so no sense in spending a whole lot of time on that.
Yogurt losing control. Severius making a move on Yogurt now.
We'll go up to that battle then, as they are almost side by side, going down through turn 9, heading towards turn 10. Actually, Juice is currently in 4th, so that would put him, I'm trying to think, would that put him in 2nd or close to 2nd? Yeah, it's going to be interesting once the points get dished out and we have a final tally on those points, because it's going to be a really close battle for 2nd in the point standings. We have Diablo going around turn 7, heading down, turn 7 into turn 8 through turn 9, as he is almost done his race here. We will actually switch over to him as he is going through turn 10 right now. So we'll go up to him, watch him cross the start-finish line to put another win under his belt. just coming around turn 12 right now, and across that start finish line. Congrats to Diablo for another dominant win in the SRN Historic Trans Am Series. I'm going to go back to Medieval Knight as he is in second with I didn't want to show. Oh, that was Chuckles behind him. So Medieval Knight second, Big Ben third, Juiced currently in fourth as they head down towards the final turn and across the finish line. So Juice gets fourth, Flight fifth, Yogurt sixth, Severius seventh, Master Big Chief eighth, Team Reedy 9th, Yan San San 10th. Just crossing the line is 4Cam T-Bird in 11th. Back to 12th with Hocus as he crosses the line. MA in 13th, Sierra 14th, 15th Schleprock, back to 16th with Wildman CB. We finally got Wildman into the broadcast. There you go, bud. As he crosses the line in 16th, 17th, Mr. Grip, and we've had okay. Chuckles currently in 18th as he's coming down towards turn 10. 19th is Sedlum, 20th Trashman, and I'm pretty sure it's going to finish in that in order unless something crazy happens here with Chuckles. As Chuckles rounds turn 12 and across the finish line, and Sedlum crosses the finish line as well. And last but not least in this group, Trashman, as he runs into Big Axe's AI AI driver. So there you have it. We had 2 dropouts. Pretty great race at Road Atlanta. I've always loved this track. It always makes for some fun racing because you got those tight little turns, like in the S's. Turns 6 and 7, they're both, right-hand 90s, and then you got those big long straights between 5 and 6, and again between basically 7 and 10, which 8 and 9 are in there, but I still consider it one great big long straight stretch. Fantastic race. Next week we are on to, any idea?
I believe so. I am going to double check so that I'm not lying.
And I almost called you Sedlum again, Strife, and I apologize.
Lime Rock. We are going to Connecticut.
Oh, we're going to Lime Rock. That will definitely be exciting. Lots of excitement, shall we say, there. So yeah, we will be back next week, same time-ish, depending on, of course, on how long it takes to get things set up and so forth, the lobby set up. Definitely in the same 1 week from now, and we will see you there. Thanks for watching, and we'll be posting this race on YouTube, and a link will be provided into the Sim Racing SRN Motorsports forum. There we go. And I don't even have the link to that. I should, next week, I will make a posting for the link to that forum for anybody who is interested. According to this, it's srnmotorsports.boards.net. But I will put that on a screen. I promise, but probably will forget for next week. Thanks again for sitting in the booth here with me, Strife. Any final words, any comments you want to add about the race?
Thank you for having me, and it was a pleasure.
Excellent.
Glad we possibly got the audio a little bit more set this week.
Yes, time will tell once we check the recording. All right, with that being said, thanks again, and we'll see you next week.